already know decentralized is absolutely the way to go, whether it's your VPN or the internet as a whole. Now, if you haven't heard of DVPNs, decentralized VPNs, the Orchid product, OTx token, I'm going to break it down for you here today in Operation Decentralize Your VPN, decentralize your internet traffic, decentralize the internet altogether, put the power back in the people's hand, bring together blockchain technology, and then build privacy components. This is actually a product that Edward Snowden has backed, got behind. Now, whether or not he's invested, of course, is private information. I have no idea, but a lot of sources speculate that he may be. He's also done conferences with the founders of Orchid, and this is an incredible VPN that I've been a part of for about 2 years, investing in the OTx. And so I do want to bring that out there in the beginning. I don't like when people do crypto videos and they're not upfront and honest. I did a video about DWAC yesterday, and I talked about how I'm not invested, but I think there's some promise. And I'm doing this about the OTx, how I am invested, and I think there's some promise. I think there needs to be more transparency because a lot of people are trying to push pump and dumps. I'm talking about the technology. This project is something you could actually use. Not a meme token, not a token that you could try to pump and dump, but a piece of technology that adds value to your life. Today, an Operation Decentralized VPN. So it's an open source smart contract that's been independently audited by multiple outlets. It's got over 40 million in VC and accredited investors last time I checked. And it's a really serious piece of technology that has changed the way you utilize VPNs. So what is the fundamental problem we're having with VPNs, and how can this solve that problem? Now, the first thing I want to state, two things. One, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and turn the notification on because we're putting out new videos here on Privacy X all the time about privacy, how to build a ghost business, how to build a ghost life, how to not deal with stalkers and identity theft, and take your life back from these big companies and do it in spectacular fashion, whether it's with crypto or other pieces of technology. The other thing I want to state is I'm not saying all of you should rush out and get on this project, but I am saying all of you should rush out and check out this project and see if it's right for you. Now, with the typical VPN, and a lot of you have seen them, big companies like Private Internet Access, NordVPN, you've got Proton VPN. You have so many of these VPNs that are being pushed heavily on the internet. The reason is they offer a lot of money. They offer sponsorship. So you hear about them like there's some great product. Most of them have been offering up logs one after another. And a lot of ones that used to be really, really good have kind of fallen to the wayside over the last few months because they've been being bought up by several big foreign international conglomerate companies, shell companies, companies that own companies that own companies, layers of confusion. That's how they do it in the corporate world. Why would they want to do this? Because in essence, then they own your internet traffic. A VPN is an encrypted tunnel where you can connect into, but what a lot of people forget is there's an on-ramp and an off-ramp, and if you own the VPN service, technically you have a log and you can control all of that traffic. Well, that's very valuable both from a marketing point of view and from a government point of view. That is beyond gold. So this is becoming an issue and trust issue, so being able to decentralize it actually has a lot of value. Now, I'm not trying to diss any major VPN company, but unfortunately, what a lot of people don't realize is VPNs was a corporate product that was repackaged as a public-facing tool, right? A very small tool that can add value, that can give you anonymity. Now, the initial value, being able to utilize websites that are banned in your country, things for journalists, things like that, similar to how the Tor project got off the ground to try to open communications where communication was closed. That's good. There's a lot of value there. The problem is now people are taking that into their hands. So we need to decentralize everything so that's not an option for people to take that power and turn it against you, because this is becoming a problem on a regular basis. Now, with the DVPN, and being that it is such an incredible product, it's been audited, like I said, by multiple auditors on their smart contract, and they utilize nano payments. Now, why is nano payments important? Well, you're paying for bandwidth that you use, and you're going to have nodes, right, for utilizing their technology. You can see here a basic structure. You're going to have nodes. You're going to download the app just like you're used to with any other VPN. But not only are you going to be using nano payments and only paying for the bandwidth you use, Also, to be a node, you have to stake it. So it's a proof of stake model. And so people actually invested in the OXT token, like myself and potentially you. There's a lot of value there. Now, having privacy-focused, blockchain-based, or decentralized-based different options for the future of technology. We've seen a lot of these big tech companies fail in cryptocurrency and fail in blockchain because they want full control. That's what they're used to. So this is starting to break it up. There's a rock star team behind this project, which I recommend you check out. And like I stated, Edward Snowden has been to privacy conferences, and I don't want to say endorsed because I think Edward Snowden is very careful what he quote unquote endorses, but he's backed. He's obviously a massive privacy advocate. He's thrown away his life over privacy and trying to do the right thing and, calling BS when he saw the government taking way too much power, which put him in exile. This is something that built their entire company based on privacy. But because they're not offering a bunch of sponsorship money to YouTubers or TikTokers, you're not seeing it plastered all over the internet. So it's not one of the most popular VPNs, but actually it adds more value than most VPNs. So let's break down how this could work for you. So ideally, in a future of privacy and technology, what we would have is we would have a modular system. Now, I've done videos on the best phone options. I've talked about Linux phones, and I've talked about modular phones. You need to modulize your computing experience, right? So not just decentralized. So a lot of people talk about ICP and decentralized tokens, and that's great. And I'm invested in a lot of them. A lot of people talk about where banking is going with XRP and with Quant. I'm invested in both of them. I can see the future of this. It's just got to get there. The crypto market only being like $2.5 trillion is a drop in the bucket compared to where it's going. But these technologies being funded by the people, provided the government stays out of the way. Well, what this does is it shelves big government and big companies, and it allows you to be privacy-centric and privacy-focused and not have to give up all of your main information. You look at how information is stored, and they've got different solutions to keep your privacy anonymity and to focus on decentralization. Now, the blockchain technology and some of these projects are going to have to go a long way to add privacy. One of the fundamental flaws, of course, is the extreme openness. It's why no cryptos other than like Monero and the Pirate Chain, ARRR, right? So Monero and the Pirate Chain are really the only two anonymous, real, privacy-focused cryptos. Everything else is massively tracked and logged on the blockchain, creating these blocks forever. You look at all other cryptocurrencies, they could tie it to you instantly. Well, looking at privacy layers and components that add privacy so you can compartmentalize some of these things, right? So what a lot of big companies are trying to do is they're trying to bring you in their ecosystem. You've famously seen this in Amazon, obviously in Apple, in Google, even in Samsung, and a lot of these other companies are trying to bring you in their ecosystem. But really what you should do as a privacy advocate is compartmentalize everything. A lot of tech projects and tech products and tech devices are fine to use provided the way that you use them, right? The way that you bring them into your technological universe, right? Having different compartmentalization for different products, because if you use the same company for 5 or 6 different things, all of those things are going to talk and they're going to become one thing, one ecosystem. It sounds convenient, but it's really not. And for your privacy and for your identity, which once you deal with identity theft, like I have in a massive way, about 10, 11, 12 years ago, I dealt with extreme identity theft. Once that happens to you, it becomes a serious problem, and it takes a lot to fight back and get it back. And these companies give out your information willy-nilly. Also being doxxed, also stalkers is an all-time high. You ever notice whenever something happens, everyone knows where they live, where they work in like 3 seconds? Well, it's because the information is out there, and they put it in every public database. Now, if you're like me, my information is not out there. If all of a sudden tomorrow I was on the news wouldn't know where I live. The news wouldn't know where I am. They wouldn't be able to find me. I've been putting out disinformation for 10 years now, and I've got ghost addresses. I've got mail drops. I don't have anything at my actual residencies. So, but I live a different type of lifestyle, the same type of lifestyle I teach my clients over at Privacy X Project. You can check that out, privacyxproject.com, where you could become an actual ghost. Well, this is a tool to help you on that journey. This is a tool to help you become a ghost, to help you live a ghost lifestyle, and to help you become somebody who is not stuck in this matrix, this system, or as Facebook wants to call it, the metaverse. And that's why you're actually seeing some companies not allow VPNs. Some companies won't work with VPNs. Some companies won't allow you to use their website with VPNs. And when we start decentralizing everything on the new protocols, and if you look at the OXT or the Orchid protocol and how they structure everything, which you can see kind of their base structure from their app to their token and how you're able to utilize this piece of technology, it's actually incredible. Of course, it's built with, built on a layer of Ethereum like most of these projects. But beyond that, it's something that can help pave a future to pull back your identity. I don't think a lot of people realize how important this is when we're headed towards a world with social credit scores. Those are coming. And this is a tool that can help combat that, in my opinion. And there's a lot of other tools on the internet, because as great as the internet is, it's also ushering in the social credit score era. And you do not want that. That is far beyond communism. Forget socialism. That is a world that zero people want to live in, except for the elites at the top who are creating the system. Other than that, you do not want to live in that world. And it's something you really want to think about. So these are the kind of projects that you should be researching. Whether or not you invest, I'm not a financial advisor. You do whatever you want. I was open and honest that I am invested in it, but I am not recommending you do. I recommend you do research, because it would be in your benefit. And even if you don't invest in this project, maybe it'll lead you down the rabbit hole in decentralization and privacy, so you can start understanding how important privacy is and maybe utilizing some resources. We have some free resources over at privacyxproject.com. I recommend you checking out. And like I said, we're getting ready to launch a complete blockchain/decentralization hub on our website with all kinds of projects and things you could be interactive with. Also communities, the Discord, all the things we've been building over there, because I think privacy is incredibly important. And I think privacy should be a lifestyle. It should be something where you question when somebody asks you your name or your phone number, your email, your address. You shouldn't just give it out willy-nilly. You should question it. And your identity is tied to these things. So if you can start decentralizing them, like with OXT and some of these other projects, it starts allowing you to not only take some of your privacy back to live a better quality life, to live a safer life, to live a less stress-free life, to live a life that people aren't peeking through your virtual windows on a regular basis. I pray you don't actually use Windows, but peeking through your whatever it is you're doing, not only online, but in your real life. So check out OXT, check out Orchid, check out the protocol, check out how they've structured their proof of stake project, check out how they've structured these nano payments and utilizing the bandwidth, and how they are able to stabilize their nodes and how they're able to put this technology together. I find it fascinating. I love this kind of stuff. Maybe you do. Let me know what you think down below. Are you currently using this project, or is there another VPN that's decentralized that you want to recommend? I know there's a handful of them that are in the works, but this is the one I found that's kind of the best so far. That's my opinion. Let me know your opinion. Appreciate you guys checking this out. Again, subscribe if you haven't already. Turn the bell on, because YouTube does not like to notify you about my videos, because they don't want you to have privacy, because it goes against their business model. Also, if you are on Odyssey, which I'm on Odyssey as well, check that out, because that's a secondary solution and another option. They don't have the traffic on there right now, but they're growing, so check that out. Appreciate you guys checking this out. Have an amazing day. Go all in everything you do. Privacy is right, and it's right that needs to be protected. If you don't protect it, I don't protect it. You could bet that the corporations and the big governments won't protect it. They don't want you to have any privacy. Actually, it benefits them for you not to. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.